Hey everybody, it's Lisa from the Silver Farmhouse. Come along with me so we can make some faux primitive bread muffins. These little pantry muffins, they came out so adorable, guys, and they are so easy to make. We are going to be using Crayola Model Magic. It's an air dry clay that you can purchase off of Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart. Lots of craft stores have it. This big tub does have 4 8-ounce packs. I am going to use one 8-ounce pack. It will give you roughly 5 to 6 muffins, depending on how thick you make your muffins. So what we're going to do now is we are going to start to condition our Crayola Model Magic. Whatever you are not using, place in a Ziploc bag so it does not harden up on you, because it will harden up quickly. What we're going to do is condition our dough. I do little pieces at a time. It's hard to do the entire 8-ounce piece. All you basically do is just start messing with it in your hands like a kid playing with Play-Doh. What you're looking for is it to be able to stretch easily. In the beginning, you notice if you pull it, it's going to rip right apart like that. But once you start working it in your hands, it's going to get stretchier and stretchier. And once it starts stretching without really breaking too much, you know it is conditioned well. So see how it's starting to stretch? Little breakage yet. So I'm just going to mess with it a little bit more. The warmth of your hands is kind of what helps this get a little bit more conditioned. We are also going to color our Crayola Model Magic with some acrylic paint, and that will be the next step coming up. I do like to use a cream paint, Apple Barrel's Antique White, Deco Art's Buttermilk. I suggest rubber gloves because it's going to make your hands a mess. So I'm just going to throw on a pair of rubber gloves. I'm using the Deco Art Buttermilk. I get it at Hobby Lobby, but I think Michael sells it also. You're just going to squirt a little bit. I don't know. This is a pretty big piece of clay, so I probably did about a quarter size, maybe a little bit bigger. Rub it all over your clay with your hands and then start to condition. Otherwise, you will drip it everywhere. Just work your paint in the same way you are conditioning your clay and keep working it in until it is mixed in very well. Now that we have our Crayola Model Magic conditioned and the paint worked in, you're going to need some 1-inch foam. I'm using Project Foam that I got at Walmart in the craft section, but a sponge will also work if you have an old kitchen sponge or a kitchen sponge. You're also going to need a cupcake pan in order to make these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little hunk of Crayola Model Magic. I'm going to roll it into a ball, and then I'm going to press it into one of my cupcake tins here. My little cupcake forms. I'm just going to press it. Listen, you just need a ball bigger than a golf ball. You're going to push it in. You're going to form some sides, and you're going to have like an overlaying lip around the edge. How thick or thin you want this, it's going to be up to you. My suggestion is don't make it too thin, okay? Because it may most likely rip on you. But do you see I have my little cavity there. Take your foam, just use regular scissors to cut your foam. My foam is not going to be in a circle shape. It ends up coming out like an octagon, and it's okay. You don't have to work this into a perfect circle. It's foam. It will squish inside your cavity, and you will be fine. So I'm just going to take my scissors, and you'll see I'm going to end up with an octagon, but it's okay. It works. And I push it right into my cavity. Voila, look how perfect that fit. Just give it an eyeball on how big you think you need your little piece of foam. Now you need to make a lid or a top crust on your muffin. Take another piece of Crayola Model Magic. You're going to flatten it out like a top piece of crust. And you're going to push it right on top to create a top crust onto your little bread muffin. Just give it a press down, push down, work it in a little bit. And then you're going to pull your muffin out of your pan. Very easy, comes right out. Now, I'm going to work my sides a little bit and kind of blend in the seam where the two pieces met. But now this is where you don't want to be perfect, guys. Squish it a little, push it a little, squish down, push down with your thumb. Don't make this perfect. You want it more unperfect. The more unperfect you have it, the better your primitive faux bread muffins are going to look. Don't be afraid to give it a little squeeze. It's going to have bumps. It's going to have dips and divots. This is what you want. Kind of looks like a biscuit. Kind of want a little biscuit form, but again, don't make it look perfect. I'm telling you, more unperfect is so much better. I am going to decorate these with some dried spices. I'm going to use dried allspice. I'm going to use dried cloves. And I'm going to use dried anise or anise. I don't know how you want to pronounce it. But I did order my spices off of Amazon. You can get them in bags. And let me tell you, they smell amazing. Absolutely amazing. I found it cheaper to order big bags off Amazon than it was to buy just little containers. So check out Amazon because they have some good deals on the spices. Here's the whole cloves, and they smell amazing as well. I'm probably going to put, I don't know, I think I use the allspice on this one. So take your allspice or cloves or your anise, push them into the top of your muffin. Whatever you're going to decorate your little muffin, your little bread muffin with. I just pushed mine in. Taking off my gloves now because it's time to move forward. What I'm going to do is, because these are going to fall right out, I'm going to pull each individual one out and add a little bit of hot glue and push them right back into the little hole they made. You can put more than 5 on yours. You can put 3 on yours. You can put 1 on yours. You don't have to put anything on these if you don't want to. This is where it's going to be totally up to you, and you're going to make this how you want to make it. After you have these all glued in, we are going to let this dry for 24 to 48 hours. I do already have a muffin that is already dried, but let it dry for 24 to 48 hours before you actually coat it with the coffee mixture that we are going to use. And I love this coffee mixture here at the Silver Farmhouse. Do you see the different ones I made? I made the cloves. I don't know if it's anise. I have no idea. Everybody says it different. But do you see how they're nice and brown? So we are going to use a coffee mixture, and I love this coffee mixture. I do dry my muffins on a drying rack. You will get lines in the bottom. If you want, you can put a piece of parchment paper down on a baking sheet and let them air dry that way. I just find the bottom dries better when they're on a drying rack like this. So we're going to take the dry one that I have. It's been drying for about 24 or so hours. They are still going to be a little squishy once dry, but the coffee mixture that I love to use is 1 to 2 teaspoons of imitation vanilla. I use 1 teaspoon, but you can use 2. You need a 1/4 cup of warm to hot water, 2 tablespoons. I'm sorry, let me fix myself here. 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, and it's 1 tablespoon of imitation vanilla. My bad. 1 tablespoon. I just had enough. Mix it up. Give it a mix. Make sure you use warm to hot water, though, so it does dissolve your coffee. Get yourself a paintbrush, and now we are going to paint about 5 to 6 coats on this muffin. And in between each coat, I am going to dry it with a hairdryer. Now that we are just about done with all our coats of our coffee mixture, and whew, yes, it does take a little bit of time, and thank heavens for being able to speed up the video a little bit for you guys, but it is so worth it. We are going to add a coat of matte finish Mod Podge to the top of our coffee mixture that we have on this muffin. Just add a tiny little bit. Do not put a lot. The more you brush, the more likely you are to remove some of this coffee mixture. So just a light coat on your brush. Give it a quick little brush. Do not keep brushing over and over because you will take some of the coffee off. Just a nice little light brush of matte finish Mod Podge. And then we're going to hit it with a hairdryer to dry it up. This is just to make sure that the coffee mixture is sealed onto your bread muffin. And guys, let me tell you, I know these look like a little bit of work, but I promise you these are so worth it. So worth it. You just want to make sure that you dry your muffin completely. Having a crafting hairdryer works great. Do not use an embossing tool because you might have a tendency of melting your Crayola Model Magic. So I have my muffin just about 100% dried with the hairdryer because I did just a little light coat of Mod Podge. Now, black ink pad and a brush or a sponge. Listen, black ink pads will give you an amazing, grungy, dirty, primitive look. I'm not adding a ton. I'm really focused on the top of the muffin, right around the edges. It comes out so amazing. You can add as much or as little ink as you want. You can rub the ink off on your brush a little bit on a paper towel before you apply so you do not get a super heavy black mark. And guys, look at these muffins. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for following the Silver Farmhouse.